Look, Ma, I'm on podcast. I made it.
Vividh, you are a very mysterious person on the internet. But today, all your secrets are going to come out.
Kurtas.
So cute.
During one of the jobs, I quit and I'm like, I'll start a music band. What do we call the music band? I call it the Kurta guys. My brother played cricket all his life. He kind of gotten into strength and he's a strength and conditioning coach. Now he's with the Indian like the actual Indian cricket. He goes around with them. I didn't have a lot of connection. I didn't have a lot of creator validation, which is important, which is quite important. I went for a bath, got out. I tried logging in. Like, where is my account?
The question is, how long are you going to stay single? Welcome to Chumma Conversations, Vividh.
Look, Ma, I'm on podcast. I made it.
Yeah, Chumma Conversations debut. Nice. So,
Wow,
Vividh, you are a very mysterious person on the internet. A lot of people have a lot of questions about you. But today, all your secrets are going to come out.
Let's see, and let's see how much I'm able to kind of cover them up. Because
Okay.
that is you know what the good that's also a persona which is kind of been set. So I kind of want to try to maintain that as well. Let's see where
Okay,
this
sure.
goes.
Okay, let me put some guesses to you. Because based on your content, this is probably the details I've gathered about you. You can just say true, false, don't want to answer.
Oh my
I don't
god,
know, up to you. Okay.
research! You did research and all.
Yeah. I have full questions and all written. Ah.
Guys, I'm scared a little bit, but I'm happy. This is my first podcast, so I'm
Yay.
I'm I'm I'm, I'm just glad I could do this with you. Wow,
Oh,
very
this is
nice.
like
Very nice.
full humble line. Okay, I'm so glad I got you on your first podcast because my first question. Okay, watching your content, I would say, are you a Tamilian?
I can't deny.
Because I remember in one video with your mother, there's one part where you ask her a question in Tamil.
Did do I've tried to maintain this thing where even if my mom comes on the screen,
Uh-huh.
I make sure she speaks in English, which comes off as a South Indian speaking English, but I kind of try keep. I don't remember. I just call her Amma. That's it. I think that's the
No, there's
max
one
I've done.
part where you go to her to ask for permission, and you're like, "Amma, veli po mudiyuma," and she's like, "Po."
No, no. You're Chumma. You're
I
Chumma
know.
trying to bait and get. I've never. No.
I'll send you the link. No, actually, I won't. Let it be out there
You
for
just
other
like you're
people to stumble on.
guys don't believe her. She's trying to bait and try to get answers out of me. I'm a little smart like that. I will make sure I stick to my
Mysterious
plan.
persona.
But yeah,
Okay.
the thing is, I do speak quite a few languages, and that which is for good and for bad.
Why is
Because
it for bad?
the thing is, okay, it's okay. First, it's good because you kind of get to connect and relate to a lot of different cultures and regions. Because
Yes.
I do understand. In all fairness, I do speak and understand Tamil. I understand Telugu, Kannada. I understand Malayalam. Hindi comes in. English is there. So when you are trying to target your audience with your content, when I keep it generic, everyone consumes it, and
Correct.
everyone thinks I am from this place, which is a great
Yes.
thing for me. Which is a
Uh-huh.
great thing. Like someone looks. I put a video on RCB. Like, oh, this guy is from Bangalore. He likes
Bangalore,
RCB.
yeah.
Then I put out some. I get my mom like, oh, this guy knows Tamil. But then like, oh, I think he lives in Hyderabad. But yeah, it's good to have that mysterious thing. Also, cause I connect to all their a few of their cultural aspects, and
Yeah.
it's great. It works great for me because I've moved around all those cities. That ways, it's bad because you can't really create a niche content.
I get
I
what
know
you
for a
mean.
fact that if I make anything Bollywood related or anything Hindi related, even if I like it, people are gonna be like, "We don't want to see
You sell
Indian
out.
people
You
stuff."
North Indian sell out.
That happens, but yeah, I keep experimenting. I keep training them if that is something that is something
Yeah.
uh,
They say, right, you always take your audience along with you on the journey. So even if you're trying new things, you sort of let them know, like, hey guys, I'm trying something new.
Correct.
So, like, check it out. Yeah, hope you like it.
That is experimenting. I think all of us do that
Yeah.
with content. Because I had this conversation with a couple of creators a few months back, where we were discussing how much of content do you make for yourself and for the audience.
Correct.
So it's between the conversations were between 70 for the audience, 30 for yourself, or 60 for the audience, 40 for myself. So I think that also keeps varying as you keep growing as a creator. Because initially when you are kind of growing, you're trying to find a groove for yourself. It kind of shifts towards you putting out. Initially, at least for me, I was putting out content I wanted to put out. The first year, I remember the collabs we did, right? That
Yeah.
was
Knee
so
bad.
those are fun. Those are
Uh-huh.
fun, but at the same time, those were not something audience would relate to immediately.
Correct.
And because I wanted, like, that was a zone where I was kind of trying to get myself validated from other creators. That was in that zone because I need to get that footing so that other creators share my content. Like, that's how you kind of. And so at least I wanted to. Other people share your content. It's only after growing as a creator that I understood that will keep happening. But your first level of focus should be on the audience. And
Yeah. And
start.
what they
I think.
like.
And back in 2022 Feb, I changed the whole strategy. I'm like, you have your thoughts and ideas. Fine, keep that aside. Keep experimenting. Keep putting it out. But start making more relatable content and start making shorter content and don't think like it all kind of started aligning back in Feb 2022, and that is the exact time when I kind of started seeing growth as well, which kind of answered my question of what kind of content to create. And yeah, what was your question? Where did we land here?
I actually don't remember, but I really loved the trajectory it took. But okay. So you mentioned all of these languages that you know. Which is the one you're most comfortable with?
I speak Tamil at home. Okay? I speak Tamil at home, but I also speak English at home. So it's a mix. It's a mix. Because my parents kind of grew up in a couple of places across South India. We kind of keep moving it with that. When I go out, I might have people who speak Kannada or Telugu or Hindi or Malayalam or whatever that kind of that comes in. So that flows in with the way I speak my primary language as well.
Yeah.
So it's a mix. That's what people. When the question is, okay, where the reason people think where I'm from is all the personas are kind of
Yes.
just mixed, and
Yeah.
it just it shows
I
up.
get the same question also, like, who are you? And I'm like, how do I explain?
Oh, we had this conversation, no?
Yeah.
Exactly about the location per se, where you said people. I remember where you said people started putting you in a box, with in regards to the language you speak, the place you're from,
Yeah.
and I think that their perception kind of started coming into the picture. How do you deal with it as such when, like, in regards to when people ask you who you are? Do you mention like who you are as a person or where you're from
Yeah, I
and
mentioned
stuff?
where I'm from because I mean, it's fun to say home. Where are you home, right? But I also, I think people like sort of that clarity to
Huh.
understand exactly what you do. So I tell them, I'm a Mangalorean, but I'm a Malayali. But I, visited Tamil Nadu every summer. That's why I know Tamil. So it also, I guess, makes them understand better why my Malayalam is like this, or why my Kannada is like this, or why my Tamil is like this. So it gives them a little more clarity, I guess, in that sense.
I think that's nice. I want to be able to embrace that at some point, for sure. Because at some point you kind of want to be like, you know what, I'm done with being mysterious. I'm done with trying to put up a persona. I'm going to start being myself. So I think it takes a lot of experience, not just with content but with life, to kind of get to that situation and place.
I think
But
also
I have
because you yourself are also kind of figuring out, right? Because you have all of
yeah,
these experiences. Even for you, it's hard to define yourself as a, like, I am this.
correct.
But there's so much more to you, right?
But again, at the same time, saying I'm from home is not a wrong answer.
It's a frustrating answer. Imagine.
I see. I have a few audience on the DMs. That is one of probably one of the first questions, because they're
Uh,
like, "Oh my god, I love your content. Where are you from?"
yeah,
They
yeah.
want me to say their place. Okay, the thing is, if I say another place, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm from home because
You're
I
also from
start.
home. We are all from home. We can
We are from
relate on
home.
that.
I'm making content from home. I barely step out, and I started. The thing is, I started content like right before the pandemic, and then the pandemic started. I was stuck at home. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna embrace it. Content from home. And yeah, now they ask for home tours. Okay, so there are a few people keep asking for home tours. I'm like, check my videos, correct the dots, figure a map. It's all there. I'm
Imagine
not
someone
hiding it.
puts out a video like, I analyzed every frame from the Kurta guy's videos. This is what his house looks like. That's a true
Wow,
fan.
wow. That means I made it. Yeah, matlab, like I hope that happens at some point. I'm not gonna let it happen. I want that to happen. I want someone to find my location, come stand in front of my house, and be like, I know you live here.
Be careful what you wish for.
I
Just say.
see that's what those are probably you've gone through stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it's fun to talk about it right now, right here in that
Uh-huh.
space. But being in that situation where you have people stalking you or following
Yeah.
you is scary. is
Yeah,
is, is super
it
scary.
also makes you really think about like when I never post pictures from my balcony, especially here in Singapore, because it's a small country, so everything is very distinctive, and a lot of the flats, like the government owned flats, have big numbers painted on them. So even if in the distance, if you see like a 13, then you know, okay, you live exactly here in this place, in this area. And then you never know, like, people might be nice, people might be not, but it's not a risk you're willing to take, right?
Correct, absolutely. And there are a few people who might want to take that risk, but again, there are a few who are also anxious about sharing a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's I think it's up to people's thing. If you want to share. If you don't want to share it, don't share. But again, be safe. We try not to share too much of your life,
Yeah.
and try not to be like me also, where I don't share anything,
But I
which
think
is
people like that about you. They like this persona that you have, the mystery that you have. They know that when they ask you this, where do you live? And you'll say home, they're like, ha ha ha, okay, I get it. I'm part of the joke now. Like they enjoy that camaraderie they have with you.
I think my DM sections are fun.
Uh-huh.
Okay, they get the vibe. They get the vibe. I have a whole story highlight on that with all the random DMs, because initially they were confused. They didn't know what was happening, and once I kind of started reposting those DMs on the stories, they kind of got a hang of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They get into the DMs expecting an answer.
Yeah.
So if I give a straight answer, they're like,
This is not fun.
this is not fun. We want mystery. We want something sarcastic. We want something which is you.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
I think they're cute.
Yeah.
I want to call them my kids. My kids are cute like that. They're a little rowdy also, uh, but they're
Baby
nice. They're nice
kurtas.
people. Huh?
Baby
Baby
kurtas.
kurtas. Oh, like oh, okay. Baby kurtas.
So cute. Okay, if you're listening to this to the podcast only version, Vividh just held up like a tiny kurta as big as his hand. That's adorable. What is it made of?
It's made of my fabrics, small my kurta fabrics. I
Aww.
kind of it's there. And so I kind of have a few lying in my studio.
That's really
Uh,
cute. You should do a
so I made
giveaway of this.
So these are my mom made these.
Very
My mom made
nice.
these. Okay, purpose was one for merchandising later on, but also when I
Fantastic.
kind of started my new account, my had my team support, and those people I told them that once I hit I come back and hit 100K, I'm coming to Bombay and giving
Okay.
you guys gifts.
Okay.
So I hit the next week. During that I kind of got my mom to make a few. I think 14 or 15 of these with all my fabrics, and I went and gave it to my team. I gave it to all the 15 people in the team, and
How
that
sweet.
that's something I had.
So when you
Gratitude,
say team, like your management team or your work team?
no, yeah, my talent management company,
Oh,
like
okay.
whoever is there, they were there. Like they didn't they were there with me through my highs and my lows. I'm like, fuck it, gratitude. I went, I picked up, I made personal notes. I picked up personal gifts for each and every one of them, and I'm,
Wow.
I'm nice. Hi guys, letting you guys know that I'm a nice human being.
Yeah,
Just in
it's
case you
like I
wanted to
would be
know.
part of your team. Where do I sign up and get gifts, personalized gifts, and things like that?
Hopefully in the future when I start a podcast and I have guests coming in, hopefully that's what I want. I want to give my guest
Okay.
Nice kurtas.
Done. Sign me up. Lock my
Done.
spot right now. Just for that gift.
Done deal. I'm totally doing. I kind of it's fun. Like because you say you're the kurta guy, you need kurtas, and why not? Why not?
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah.
Your Instagram handle is the Kurta Guy. Your YouTube page is called the Kurta Guy. Your company that you where you make videos, right? That is also called the Kurta Guy. When did you start this love for kurtas?
It's okay. Uh, I've always been this guy who's quit random jobs to do random things. Okay, and there was this one of the during one of the jobs, I'm like, I'm gonna quit this job and start a music band.
Okay.
Randomly, like good job, good paying. I'm like, I'm quitting this job. Next month, I'm starting music band.
Uh-huh.
Talk to one. I basically don't want to have regrets.
Okay.
Where I'm like, oh fuck, I missed this, and that's probably the reason that I've had jobs ranging from 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 week, 1 month, 2 months,
Really?
1 year, 6 months,
Okay.
a lot. I can't even fit all those in my resume also. So during one of the jobs, I quit and I'm like, I'll start a music band. What do we call a music band? I'm like,
Uh-huh.
and I wear kurtas. We'll call it the Kurta guys.
Who else was in your band?
There's some I don't want to say random people, but there were a few other people.
And they all wore
Who I'm not.
kurtas?
I made them wear.
Oh.
We disbanded. We also disbanded for that reason that they were like, oh, I'm wearing kurta. So they're wearing something on stage, and they're like, oh, this also looks like kurta. Inside, I'm like, that is not kurta. That is something else. And I think that band ran for 2 months.
Did y'all perform anywhere?
Yeah, we performed. Matlab, not in NH7 and all. We
Uh-huh.
performed in hotels and stuff. We're just getting into the groove, and man's like, oh no, I think we want to do this, that. I'm like,
What
why
kind of
you
music did you play?
anything and everything. Like there's no specific.
The
Like
only
my dad's
constant was the kurta.
only constant was the kurta. This I used to play this back then. This was my first
The ukulele.
venture into content, which was just playing music instruments.
Yes.
So in my old account,
Uh-huh.
if you keep scrolling, you find all these instruments, just random things, of me just playing on it.
Yeah, speaking of
And
which, you have on your YouTube page, you had a series called Kurta Guy Soundscapes.
oh, I love that.
So nice. You should, if you're listening to this, definitely go check it out because what Vividh does is he plays multiple instruments. He plays the kalimba, ukulele, he has multiple shakers, rattlers, a lot of things that he puts together, and the music is so soothing and so relaxing. I really think you should do more of that because I had a great time like going through all of it. I felt very peaceful. I also felt very tempted to go buy a kalimba because I was like, need this in my life. Music? Was music a big part of your life growing up?
My dad was into music. My dad's whole family was into music. I think those are typical families who get together and sing. It's like
Oh,
that.
okay.
They do go do those kacheris, and it's like that. So I grew up hearing my dad sing, and probably for that reason I kind of stayed away from professional music. I'm like, it's too much. There's
The
too much of
standard
music
is
in
too
life.
high.
Standard is too high.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I've done. I went learned the keyboard for a couple of years. Then, class 10 is coming. Okay, fine. We keep that aside. Study, focus, and all those things. But what one good thing about that was, once you have a music bug in you, you just you know and you understand music, irrespective of you being a musician or not.
Yeah.
You know the vibe. Like now I know for a fact that I have great choice in songs.
Oh.
Like my stories are very like I know that for a fact. It's very pleasing, very aesthetic. I know like I have a good choice and I have a good taste in music, and all that kind of starts playing in.
So, are
And
you the type where
that's
you
one of the
can
reasons.
pick up any instrument and play it if you listen to it for a bit?
No, yeah, no. Ukulele, I learned it for again 2 3 months.
Uh-huh.
I showcase like as if I've learned it forever,
It's pretty
and
easy
people come and
also
ask.
to learn.
It is easy, but again, my attention span is very less. And all my life I've looked for something I could stay consistent with. I've tried everything. I've tried cricket. I've tried art. I've tried anything and everything. I wanted to be a chef at a certain point,
Wow.
and I think all those things kind of got together into content creation. And right now that's where the content is, where I have music, I have food involved, I have art involved. It's like
All
it's all
your
kind of
interest
come
in
to,
one place.
yeah. And this is the first thing in my whole life I've kind of been consistent with. in posting content. Like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Oh gosh. I think I can imagine then, like, when your Instagram account got suspended last year, it must have been a huge blow. Like, can you take us through what happened?
No, okay, now I can laugh about it and talk about it.
Yeah.
But okay, so the thing was, like I said, experiment. I've always been game with experimenting with content. Even the ones we did, though I've kind of moved away from those formats. Those were some of the best times I've had. But there was also a burnout space
Yeah.
with that format where I spend 9 hours on an edit and I get 600, 700,000 likes. I'm like, what did I work for?
Yeah.
So it felt, and that's when I kind of moved in away from the long, got into the shorter 15, 20 second. Feb 2022. I'm like, I'm putting out content every single day. I got into it. I put out every single day, and I started seeing results. I legit started seeing results. My account started to grow. I finally after 2 years I hit 10K in Feb 2022. Okay, which took a lot of time. But after that, it started increasing. I started using more of reels and more consistent posting. June, I think June 21st or something, I hit 100. I'm like, it
Wow.
was a boom. So May I was some 30 in 30 or 40. In about a month, I hit 60. I hit 100.
Wow.
And for me, it's a big deal.
Of
For me, it
course.
was like getting 1 million followers. Like coming out, I legit had, I didn't have a lot of connection. I didn't have a lot of creator validation, which is important, which is quite important. I didn't have a lot of creator validation from other creators, but I kind of, the only thing was keep posting content. I kept posting. June, I posted. Experiment Pro Max, July 21st. I could remember the date. I didn't know an option. So the thing is, I've used sketches where I've used a lot of, I won't say weapons, but there was a toy gun. I
Yeah.
made sure it was a toy gun. I used a toy gun, and they were water pistol emojis in the comment section, because
Oh,
I was playing the part. I had to play the part.
right.
My audience were playing the part, and once I think Instagram being Instagram, it kind of strike it like, you know what, I think you are very violent in nature. You're using water pistols in the
Very
comments.
bad, very bad. Why use
Very
toy
bad.
guns? Use real ones.
I mean, I've seen people use that also
Yeah.
on the gram, and it's kind of get it. But again, that happened. Gone. I went for a bath, got out. I tried logging in. Like, where is my account? Then I reached out. This is where my team kind of came in place, and this is where I kind of felt, because me coming from nowhere with not a lot of support, them being there at that place was important. I told them that my account is gone. They said, "Don't worry, we'll talk to Meta India," and
Okay.
they spoke. One day passed. I didn't sleep. I legit didn't sleep for a week. I'm not even
Oh.
kidding. One only week. What did, because I've sacrificed quite a bit. I quit jobs. And it was reaching a place where I'm going to start monetizing.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I had 2-3 brandies logged in, just ready to
Oh no.
like make money out of it. And then that's when like, whoop, gone. And I was like, oh god, what am I doing? But at the same, it took 2 months to come to a point that it is not coming back. 2 months. It
Those
took me
two
to,
months must have been like super difficult, yeah?
yeah. Especially, see, the thing is, once you are used to doing something on a daily basis, getting yourself out of it is and it was a habit. I was looking at stuff. I was like, oh god, I need to take a photo of this and share it. And then I'm like, oh, I don't have an account. Who will I share
Oh
this with?
no. Okay.
It is bad, but at the same time, I kind of figured out a lot of things internally.
Like
One
what?
was that I was addicted. I was addicted to making content, which is real.
Yeah.
Content creator, as much as they might say anything, you do get addicted to making content, which is not great. A few nice things during that suspension period was, there's a sense of direction, which I didn't have before. Before I was like, ha, wake up, make content, go to sleep. It wasn't that loop, but it wasn't going anywhere mentally. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I took those 2 months to kind of go back to the basics, find out what content I kind of wanted to create, where I wanted to head towards, and I started working on them. And I had a call. In September, I think second week, where my team was like, you know what, we've tried everything. Meta India's tried everything. We're not getting back the account. We will have to start from scratch.
Okay. Ouch.
I'm like, yeah, from and that had my thing was that had foundation, that had growth. It showed growth from trying to figure out what content to post to actually figuring out what content is working for that particular individual, and the community which was kind of built over there. And I still haven't gotten back the same community. There are still quite a few of them who don't know I've restarted. So that happened. So the day I think a week before I was going to come back, I was like, the fear was, are people going to accept me again? That was the initial fear, because when you are restarting your whole, so because I'm not young, I'm not a 22-year-old kid.
How old are
Okay,
you?
that, uh, I'm
Mystery.
quite old. I can look young, but I'm quite old. Like,
Are you a millennial?
yeah, proper millennial, like a proper millennial, who kind of comes. So, dude, the thing is, if I cut my hair, if I trim my beard, I could pull off a Gen Z.
Yeah.
I could.
Your whole vibe and the way you dress also is like very chill, very young. Your glasses also cool like mine.
Oh, what a plug-in! What a nice plug-in. Are those fog glasses, or are those they became fogged?
What?
The frosted one, no? You have a frosted glass.
So I think it became frosted from 2 years of use. Let me just say, it just came like this.
Yeah, it
These are
came like
sunglasses actually that I turned into glasses.
same. Same.
Jugaad Max.
Same. CR7, if you're watching, please sponsor. I don't mind. I want that. But anyways. So when the account kind of came back, I think a week before, I kind of wanted to reconnect with people. I remember messaging you. I'm like,
Yes.
you know what? I'm gonna be restarting. Blah 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 happened. I think the thing was, people like who were in the community, the creator community, they kind of got to know.
Yeah.
Because imagine a guy who's coming in every single day and he stops coming in for 2 months,
Yeah.
and people kind of they started reaching out to me. The thing was, all these kids, no, they started reaching out to me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Google Pay. I'm not even kidding. I had so
How
many
did
people.
they connect you to you on
So
Google
there
Pay?
was a time where I put out a 20 rupee challenge, and people had to. If they pay me 20 rupees, I'll sponsor their brand. It was something like that. I did that, and during that time, a few of them reached out like, "Oh, where are you? What happened?" And a few had WhatsApp. They kind of connected. I'm like, "I'm coming back. I'm coming back." Wait. And during the reconnection phase, I was hitting up a few people. I'm like, "Please, dear human, I'm going to come back. I might repost a few of our content pieces. I just wanted to let you know." And you were sweet enough to say like, ah, cool, yes,
Yeah, why
like
not?
because I've moved from the zone, because mentally during that space I'm like, am I gonna be able to get back to where I was? That was the initial thing. But I keep posting, and I think that just helped. People started finding me out again. People started sharing my content, and what first month I have it written here in a board. So for September, my goal was to hit 2,000, to hit 5,000 followers.
Uh-huh.
I hit 5,500,
Wow.
and in October I wanted to hit 10,000. I
Okay.
hit 20,000. I'm like, oh great. In November
Whoa.
I wanted to hit. Now in November I wanted to hit 20. I hit 100 in 2 months. I'm like,
You reached 100 from 0 to 100K followers in 2 months.
huh. Like,
Wow.
yeah. And that was because, again, people like content. It was the content. The community kind of wanted this person back in the frame. So that kind, yeah, November we hit 100, and yeah, now I'm kind of like, huh, like, fine, okay, the game is there. The thing was, I knew the game. I knew the Instagram game to reach 100K back then. I
Which
knew
is
what
what?
had to be done, which is posting content consistently, irrespective of what engagement you get. I still try following that even now, because Instagram being Instagram, sometimes it gives you reach, sometimes it doesn't give you reach. But the only way to kind of counter that is put out content.
So
Uh,
every day you would keep putting out one reel.
yeah, wake up, write, shoot, edit, upload. Every single day, even now, I know for a fact that if I'm not, I had a good week. My last week was good engagement. This week went blah. But I can't be like, oh my god, my engagement is not coming, I'll take a break. I can't take a break. I'm like, keep posting, it'll eventually happen. Because at the end of the day, you want to have fun putting up content.
Yes.
The moment you stop having fun, you lose it. And there are advantage, again, I feel there are advantages of posting every day, where you are detached from your content, which is very very important. Because once you are attached to the content and you feel, oh my god, I'm not getting numbers, you're gonna start dwelling on that.
Yeah, when you attach your personal self-worth with your online value, right? It becomes
Correct.
very difficult to deal with that.
Yeah, so yeah, it happened. Oh,
Nice.
guess what, after all this, what happened 2-3 weeks back?
What?
So I went randomly on Instagram. I'm like, let's go and find out if I'm able to find, like, Meta tried.
Uh-huh.
Like, let's find out if I'm able to get my old account. I went to the old account, tried logging in. It said no, your account has been suspended. We can't log you in.
Okay.
But if you think we made a mistake, click on this link.
That option wasn't there before.
It was there. I was told not to do anything.
Okay.
I clicked on it. I went to put in my details. I gave an explanation. I got my old account back in 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes. Like, I'm like, they're like
2 months you
2 months.
suffered. Mm.
But I again, I'm glad that happened, because there's a great filtering of content. There's a great filtering in terms of the audience, the community, and
Mm-hmm.
there are more things. I feel I'm more evolved as a creator right now than I was with my older content.
Mm.
This has matured. I kind of understand what content is working, what content I'm gonna have to start having fun with.
Yeah.
If it was the old, like I said, the older, if it was the older one, if it doesn't get that engagement, I'll lose my mind. Like, oh, what is happening? I've spent so much time. It's supposed to reach this threshold. Now I'm like, even if it doesn't work, I know it's not like, I don't want to judge a content based on its engagement. A good or a bad content is, you can't judge it based on the number of likes and shares it gets.
How do you judge it?
You judge it based on how much fun you had making it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is very important in this space. I have so many people reaching out and saying, oh, I don't have great engagement. I think I want to take a break and come back later and see if the engagement improves. It's not going to improve.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to improve unless and until you start having fun, unless and until you start posting consistently. Like, I don't want to call myself a full-time content creator if I'm not posting content full-time. That is my agenda. That is my thing. I don't know if it makes sense. It makes sense for
Uh-huh.
me.
Right.
You want to you create content full time. Now I've kind of gone to space. You know what? I shouldn't just rely on Instagram. I kind of
Mm-hmm.
need to put up more stuff on YouTube. Then I started cross posting my content on
Ah,
YouTube,
nice.
and that's growing. Then I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna start putting up longer form content. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm planning for that. Oh, I need to put a podcast. So this kind of diversification wasn't there before. So this clarity, no one gave me, because as creators, we don't have PR teams right over there saying, oh, you know what, you should post content now.
Yeah. You
There's
learn as you go, right? And it's often a
exactly.
very like a individual path when you don't have a team like advising you all the way through.
And I've seen you, dude. I've seen people like you grow. Like, I think when you started following me was back when you were some 25, 27. Uh, uh, uh,
Ah,
See, early
you
early
remember?
spotting. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what else do you do? At that point you're like, oh, because I've seen your content come on the explore feed and shares and all
Uh-huh.
those things, and then when you kind of get that validation from a creator, you kind of get to follow them, get to understand what their growth story has been.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen you grow from your 29 to 30 to 70 to 100 and your 200s, and it's all a learning experience.
Yeah.
It's all a learning experience. So I've seen you. There's another person called Christina,
Mm-hmm.
Potato Face.
Oh,
She's
yes.
she's a lovely creator. So she spotted me when I hit 10K,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a constant support. So sometimes there are few creators who follow creators for the content.
Yeah.
It's there's nothing in this. Like, why would you, with a certain number of followers, do a collab video with someone who has less than 10,000 followers? Logically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't want to, but creatively speaking, you want to try exploring.
Yeah. Especially if
You,
you admire that person's work and you want to just
exactly.
work with someone in the same field and try something new,
Exactly,
right?
exactly, and in all fairness, I'm trying to do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm legit trying to. These are things I've taken. These are things I've borrowed from other creators in terms of how they kind of approach and how they do collab. Now I'm doing. I want to do that. I want to do collabs with people who have more following than me, same following than me, very less following than me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in touch with most of the people where we kind of share scripts and kind of look at creating content. I think that is, it's not easy. It's not easy, and and people must appreciate that with you and other creators who kind of tend to do that. Not easy at all at this space, at this
Yeah.
competitive space.
And it also is sometimes hard to find a middle ground where you can make a collab video together because you're thinking of, okay, maybe your content is very different from mine. How do we work on that together? But from most of the collabs that I've done, I found it very easy to do that because you follow each other, you kind of understand each other. You understand where
Correct.
the person comes from, what their content is. And the collab I did with you was very unique for me in the sense that it was so well prepared from your end. Like you had a whole storyboard ready.
Right.
Guys, he had like a document he gave me with the script, with the sample frames, with how the lighting should be, how the angle should be. Never have I ever worked with a creator who was so thorough and so professionally prepared for it. Was like a proper, like you think a TVC or some shoot like that. I loved that process. Like I absolutely loved it, and I loved the way it came out. Like you did a fantastic job. But you mentioned that that kind of process is a little hard to sustain in the long run, especially if you want to put out videos every single day, right?
Correct.
So what is your approach to making content now? What is your philosophy?
Coming back to that process of sending a draft, then sending a script, and then sending your short references, that comes in from experience of working from my past. For over a decade, I've worked around in movies with agencies, with radio, and with TV. Everywhere, we kind of there is a process set, and I've kind of figured out that process where I've always been that process organized guy. And when it when we kind of can come back to content creation, when you are creating content for yourself, just take your notepad, write your script, and you're done.
Yeah.
But when you are shooting remotely and you kind of want to also share your perspectives and get people on the same line, you need to kind of do that kind of planning. I still do that even right now with every single collabs. I make sure I send a script. I make sure I send a short description with references so that it gets easy
Wow.
for them.
Yeah.
Because again, not everyone shoots with the same kind of camera. Not everyone shoots with the same kind of setup, and you can't and you shouldn't expect them to also, because they've grown making content in their style successfully. So you can't go and say, you know what, only if you have a good camera quality will I do a collab with you. That is not how I want to approach it.
Yeah.
If there's someone who's shooting with their front camera, I'll be like, you know what, for a change, shoot with your back camera,
Uh-huh.
just so that we can. It's those gradual small things which kind of makes a play, and I have fun. And most of the people I've sent that with, they're like, oh god, I've not seen something like this. Great.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's fun. But again, if you're doing collabs, that is great. But if you are doing content for yourself, you need to have a system and process set. You need to have, because you don't want to wake up and be like, oh, what do I shoot today?
Correct.
Which is going to take a toll. I still like, if you once you kind of get used to the routine, it's fine. You can wake up and get on with it. But when you are learning, you need to set a few. For example, I went on towards, the first thing was set up content buckets. Set up content buckets which can be expanded in the future. Set
Can
up
you,
content buckets.
for people who don't know what content buckets is, could you elaborate what that is?
Basically, in easier terms, setting a theme for your theme or a format for your video. For example, if I say, you tell me one of your formats, no, the hacks to learn. Hacks to learn is a format. It's a bucket. So when you wake up, you know that today I'm going to do hacks to learn, and I'll probably integrate a few things. It's like fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
For me, it's like fill in the blanks, where you kind of take that format and start putting in, start aligning your script along with it.
Yeah.
I did that. My first step was create 20-30 different buckets.
Whew.
I think I would say natural talent to kind of, I can create a format every single day and keep running it.
Wow.
It comes out of experience of doing more and more. I know right now I know for a fact that Sundays I am gonna have dosa reacts, no matter
Yeah.
what. I like Sunday, and that is training your audience as well. Now they know. Oh, they're like, oh, I know it's Sunday because you post dosa reacts. And to kind of get that, you can't just post 2 videos in that format and leave it.
Yeah,
You
you
need to
have
keep
to build
posting.
it up.
You have to build it up. I can't show this right now, but when I restarted, I'm like, Monday I'm going to do motivation.
Okay.
Irrespective of what it is, Monday has to be motivation. Tuesday I put something related to family. Tuesdays I used to usually have a video with my mom,
Cutie pie.
with a small cute reaction video with my mom. I put life hacks on Wednesday, which now it's kind of moved. I put life hacks, vlogs, and this and that. So once you kind of get a groove of it, I think it gets easy. How was it for you? Because you were posting content every day
I
till
was.
till about a couple of months back.
Yeah,
if I'm not wrong.
I think also, yes, it's great to have content buckets, but sometimes you kind of tend to get tired of a theme. And then you're like, I think I've done all I can in
Correct.
this particular bucket, and maybe I want to try something new. So I got to that point in a couple of my series where I'm like, and now I feel like I'm forcing the kind of content, like I'm
Correct.
forcing myself to do it. So then I just took a step back, tried something new, and sometimes I get an idea that pulls back to the previous theme, and then I'm like, okay, let me make this video again.
I think experimenting is much
Yeah,
important.
yeah. So I'm curious, like, when did you first start wearing your kurtas, and how did it evolve to this unique style that you have now?
Okay, again, the experience also comes from branding as
Mm-hmm.
such. I've been a guy who's I've done my bachelor's in media studies, where I kind of that's where I learned how to shoot, write, and
Mm-hmm.
edit and design and stuff. I did my master's in media business, where I learned the art of marketing and branding and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was all, like, those were there. I used to do them for my clients and other people. And when
Mm-hmm.
it kind of came a time where I had to put it for myself, I was legit finding something where in what I could use for my personal branding.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that I wear kurtas, not so regularly, but I still wear kurtas.
Uh-huh.
And you know what, pick it up, pick that up and start building. Like I like there still are people who kind of come and say, oh, do you sell kurtas? I'm like, not yet. I don't
Mm-hmm.
sell them. I'm not a fashion designer. I know shit about styling, but I have an eye for aesthetics, and I
Mm-hmm.
will wear kurtas. And I think it just started very slow. It just started slowly, and it kind of got once the Kurta Guys ka band started and everything kind of fell in place. I started embracing it more.
Would you ever consider opening a kurta line of yours?
If I find someone who understands business, why not? That is there in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Merchandising is there. Just like these, I can do this. Yeah, but I can get these things
These
done.
mini kurtas.
These mini kurtas. I keep forgetting you. There's also audio, no?
Yeah, yeah.
I need to keep explaining. I'm like this and that. Okay, fine. There's also mini kurtas, mini size, miniature kurtas. I can do them, but they are part of the future. Part of the future plan to
Mm.
kind of start a bespoke kurta store where you
Yeah,
can just come in.
I would love to purchase some because I love the fabrics, I love the prints. Very, very cool.
Someday,
Customer.
somewhere.
Customer is ready.
Great. I will.
You can
Like
be.
I'm definitely gonna start. Like for sure, I'm also right now getting into a space where I am looking at monetizing content, not just by doing branded content, but as
Hmm.
a business.
Yeah.
Because that I think that is the next step. That's an organic next step to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not that young where I can kind of keep experimenting for a couple more years.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact that I'll have to advance myself a little faster,
Mm-hmm.
because I wish I was making this kind of content when I was 20 to 23.
What were you doing when you were 20 to 23?
God knows, like so I was doing anything and everything. But I'm glad, but at the same time, I'm glad I didn't do it then, because I wouldn't have had these kind of ideas and concepts and
Mm-hmm.
approach to content as such. Because back then there was nothing. We that was the first time we got introduced to smartphones, and
Mm.
that's when it started building itself up. And we were not we saw YouTubers, we saw MKBSD and all these people
Yeah.
who were just there. And I think right, I'm fine with me putting out good content right now at this certain age. But again, this is what is going to develop into a prop. I'm definitely going to get into studying a proper content company and
Yeah.
start building more stuff. It's in the pipeline. I know it's going to take some a couple of years, but yeah, that is the future. That has to be the future. I don't have an option.
Yeah. I'm so excited for what you're going to come up with because I know it's going to be great. And I'm sure it's going to be
Yeah.
very aesthetic looking, whatever you do,
Yeah,
because you have a great eye for
always.
it.
Always for aesthetics. Yeah, always for aesthetics. But also on my stories, no, the last couple of months, I started saying hi to everything. Okay.
Like?
For example, okay. Again, that comes from branding.
Mm-hmm.
That was maybe completely moved away from that question. Also, okay.
It's
So
okay.
so so
Chumma
with
conversations flow.
wow, wow. So with branding, you also kind of want to find a few things which sticks on
Yeah.
to people. Like how you say easy is something.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the branding of you as a person and a creator.
Yeah.
And people know when you say easy, people know that it's you.
Yeah.
And you have, and it's not just one word. You have a couple of words attached
Mm-hmm.
to you. You have a couple of aesthetics attached to yourself, and those are aesthetics. I feel as a creator, you kind of need to start developing
I
and
need to
start
think
building.
about it like very actively when you start off, right?
Yeah, initially you're like, what is happening, but you get into that thinking once you start growing. Like I
Yeah.
know for a fact that 20 rupees is part of a conversation for me. I know
Mm-hmm.
kurtas are there. I know
Yeah.
there are a few quirks here and there which kind of needs to start coming off. And I recently started saying hi to things on my stories.
Mm-hmm.
I look at trees, I say hi trees.
Mm-hmm.
I look at so if I'm with someone, I say hi. hi you. I look at a chair, I say hi chair. So that has gone to a place where I have other followers who kind of take up normal stories and say hi sky.
Huh.
Thanks to the kurta guy. I'm
Huh.
like, cool. It's latching on. You're able
Fun.
to latch on to stuff like that, and matlab, it's part of the aesthetics. It's part of the aesthetics to have something nicely put up.
Yeah, and you also
Right?
have a very distinctive font style, color scheme. You have yellow and
Mhm.
blue, you have that particular font, you have that purple lighting, you have the way you shoot it. All of these things, was it very intentional right from the start?
Intentional, super intentional. Because you again, there are creators like when you look at a background or when you look at a particular aesthetics,
Mm-hmm.
you know who that person is without them being present in the screen, present
Mm-hmm.
on the screen. So I look at a background, I know this is gonna be the kurta guy. There is, for example, Dosa Reacts has a certain background.
Yes.
I look at that background. Like people are. I want people to know that this is gonna be Dosa Reacts. This is gonna be the kurta guy putting out a video with this certain format
Mm-hmm.
in their head. So that is very very intentional. The choice of text, I think that is basics. Those are
Mm-hmm.
basics to kind of select a font. Like
Yeah.
I don't use Instagram to create those edits,
Mm.
or I wish I could do that, but I've kind of gotten used to doing it on my system.
And it makes it very
And
unique as well. It sets your content apart.
it does, again, it's not difficult for me because I got used to doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Initially it was, but like, I said my they were experimentation with the fonts initially to
Mm-hmm.
figure out that aesthetic, because you want it to be visible with the dark background, light background.
Mm.
So that kind of that thought process goes in. I selected my primary color. I had to select my primary and my secondary colors.
Spoken like a proper designer.
Yeah, matlab, ha, I used to design also.
Uh-huh.
Again, other part of what I used to do. So I knew my my initial primary on my old video was a blue,
Mm-hmm.
secondary was yellow. But later I found out yellow as a color is something I connected to the most. Right now I made yellow my primary, the blue the secondary,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a third color with a certain hint of pink and red, which keeps
Mm.
coming in every now and then. So that thought process doesn't come overnight.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of practice, it takes a lot of trials, a lot of experimentation to see what is sticking, what is not sticking. If it works, great. If it doesn't, get back to the drawing board and figure it out. I don't you just have to keep experimenting with stuff to figure out what works for you and what works with your aesthetics.
Yeah.
I think it's that. If Instagram text and font works for you, great. Because there's a point where I kind of knew a few creators with the choice of colors
Mm-hmm.
with their Instagram fonts they've used.
Mm.
So it's super fine. But I'm also a guy who wants to stay consistent with the aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you kind of look at certain aesthetics, you know it's that person. So yeah, it's working great for us.
Mm-hmm. But do you
Do you
feel
have that
sometimes
approach?
I
Do you,
do, in the sense that I started off editing on Instagram itself and putting Instagram fonts, so that was
right,
easier for me. But then I was also a little concerned that, if I shift to a more high def camera, or even if I film something with my glasses off, like people are not going to be
right.
able to connect. They won't even recognize who I am. Like I've had that. They're like, who's this? So sometimes that kind of forces you into a box as well in terms of the
Correct,
content you create, the clothes you wear. Like for example, like for you, you're comfortable shooting in your studio space, right? With all the lights, with all the setup.
correct.
Would you find it a little more challenging if someone was like, okay, go make a vlog outside?
I'll go for it.
Yeah.
I want to do it. Again, I want to go and experiment. Like the thing is, I've not been asked to do it. I've not been asked to kind of go out and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
With a daily content posting schedule, I have to find resources within the space so to be more efficient in creating that piece of content.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, probably in the future, once I start stepping out more, if I am introduced to a new space with a new, for example, you give me a phone
Mm-hmm.
with no good mic, I think I'll still be able to pull off good content.
Nice. I'm curious to see how that will be, because a lot of content creators, or people who are not even content creators, all they have is their phone, and they're like,
Correct,
"What can I do with this?" Right? I wish I had
correct.
better equipment, but the fact is, the whole thing of it is in content. They say content is king.
Absolutely, absolute. Dude, there are such lovely creators who go mad viral
Mm-hmm.
because of their content as content being content.
Mm-hmm.
like the people like me, okay, when you're trying to just find a footing in the creative space, you do all these quirks with the camera, with the editing to stand out
Yeah.
initially. That's where I kind of I was never a humor guy. Grow for the most part of my life. I had to, for me to figure that out. I need to put out good edits, good color schemes, and after that, it started coming more naturally. So
Uh-huh.
why not?
How long does it take you to create a reel end to end from scripting to the final publishing?
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
a day, less than a day.
Mm-hmm.
uh I might come with an idea the night before.
Mm-hmm.
I sleep on that. I legit sleep on that idea. I legit, like, I go to bed with that idea, wake up in the morning, because I also do a lot of freelance stuff here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is script it. I wake up. When I go work out, I reply to all my DMs in the.
Ah,
I make sure I do that consciously.
okay.
Then during the same process, I try scripting it on my notepad.
Mm.
I script it. I do my work here and there, shoot, finish up some more work, edit, post, and done. All in a day span. I come up with, like, most of the videos which is posted on that day was shot and edited on that day.
Mm-hmm.
It is unless and until it's a collab which requires, for example, there's this lovely illustrator called Steffi. Okay.
Mm.
Brilliant. She does some brilliant illustrations. So we caught up a month and a half back, and we thought, you know what, she's an illustrator, and we wanted a collab.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, you know what, why don't we try something different? And we introduced this thing where a real character has a conversation with an illustrated character,
Mm-hmm.
which is something I've not seen in India.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, a lot of that. And it's not like Sam Cotton. Sam Cotton is another illustrator
Mm-hmm.
who adds eyes and faces to random objects.
Mm.
We didn't go that route. Steffi had her own character, and we're like, what if we kind of bring out that character,
Mm-hmm.
and I bring out this character, and we start letting them have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So that one video took a good 20-25 days.
Oof.
Why? To figure out the format, to figure out a
Mm.
workflow, because we were like, okay, how do we establish the relationship? How do
Yeah.
we make them brother sister? So we're like, okay, fine, we'll do that. Then figure out a script. We want to keep it short. Okay, we also want to experiment. Then the third step was, should we shoot in the daytime or nighttime to make illustration easier? So we
Mm-hmm.
shot both. We shot the same video in daytime, nighttime, to see what is working. Then you go about trying to illustrate. Then you come back and see what is nice, what is not nice. And that took a good 20-25 days to just figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're planning another video, and we know for a fact that it's not going to take that long. It's
Because you've
probably
already
going to
been through
get
that
done.
process before.
It's faster.
Mm-hmm.
It's faster because we kind of experience that. So I think depending on the content, you kind of tweak your duration. How is it for you when you're shooting? I kind of wanted to ask you, when you're making your vlogs,
Mm-hmm.
how long does it take for you to is there an ideation behind it, conceptualizing and editing and stuff? How long does your
When you say
videos
vlogs,
take?
do you mean the stuff that I do post on Instagram or YouTube?
On Instagram and YouTube, like in general, for Instagram,
Okay,
for Instagram short form.
For Instagram, short form depends. If it's a scripted thing, it doesn't take too long because, like you said, even I get ideas, I sleep over it, or I'll be having a shower and thinking about it. You know,
Oh God! Yeah. Right.
like fleshing it out further, cooking and thinking, or because sometimes you have only the punchline ready in your head, or sometimes you have only the
Right.
beginning ready in your head, and
Right.
then you need to like work things out, right? So,
Correct.
yeah, it depends. Sometimes just half a day, sometimes just 1 hour. Sometimes I've recorded, edited, and I think it's crap, and I start all over again on the same idea. So I think it depends. But like you mentioned about the consistency and posting every single day, that
Right.
is really difficult to do, because sometimes you don't have an idea and you're like, but I need to post something. So you have that a lot of pressure that builds up, right? Like, oh God, I need to post something. I need to post something.
Right.
So that is something I think a lot of creators also struggle with, because you want to be consistent, yes, but your brain is not where your creativity, like they are not meshing at that point of time, right?
Right.
So I think it's okay to take a break at that point of time instead of putting out stuff where again you feel like, what did I just do, right? What did I just
Do you
create?
have a parameter? Do you have a parameter for your videos before posting or hitting the upload button? Ki, out of 10, do you rate your video and be like, oh, you know what? It needs to reach this number before I upload.
Yeah.
Do you have that?
I think it's more like an instinct thing, right? Like when you rewatch it, you have to feel that click within yourself and be like,
Correct.
yeah, this works. But sometimes I guess when you're a little too close to your content and you need to like separate yourself from it, I show it to Akash and I'm like, does this make sense to you? Because to me, in my head, it makes sense. But does this make sense to you? So sometimes he says yes, sometimes he says no. Sometimes when he laughs involuntarily, I know, okay, this is going to be a good video. So that's a good measure to have. But this is a field where it's like constantly evolving, it's constantly creating, and
Correct.
also you have a very like an intentional mindset towards it, right? So even in the content that you create, your even the term the Kurta guy is trademark. You have a device trademark on it.
Haha.
Yeah.
Thanks for googling it.
Why did you get that done?
I'm planning for the future. I got the trademark done 2 years back, even before I got into proper content creation. Again, it took a year to kind of get all those things done. But I knew for a fact that it's, dude. We also people with a little bigger aspirations. I'm not going to be satisfied with anything I have. Okay, I'm like I want to aim for the big. I want to aim for the sky. What lands or what sticks.
Right.
And I knew for a fact that it is going to grow. Not ASAP, but eventually it will and it has to. And I'm putting in all the efforts. And yeah, you put in all the efforts. At some point of time, it has to kind of go. Because I'm not right now. I'm not aiming for virality. Okay, I'm not aiming for content to go viral. I'm aiming for consistent content to just keep putting out on people's feed. That is the intent of putting out content right now. If it goes viral or not is another level. Because when people come and ask, "Oh, how to make a viral content? Can you give ideas?"
Do you ever face that when you work with clients where they're like, Vivid, make this video viral?
I'm like, no, you post consistently for 2 years, it'll go viral. Like, it is the game.
How
And
do
the
you,
consistency is the game.
since you work with other companies as a freelancer, how do you differentiate between when you have a great idea, you're like, should I give this to them or should I keep this for myself?
It depends on the persona. It depends on if that person or that company is able to pull it off. If you feel they're able to pull it off, you kind of let them have it. But if you think it's a great idea and it's only something which they can do with their high production values, give it off to them. Like, big deal. As a creator, I don't know if I should be saying this, but you're never going to be short of ideas. I always feel that I think that's the, I won't say a creator ego, but I can probably make a better idea than this. Give me another 2 days. I'll come up with a better idea for myself, right? Because right now, even if you take away all my formats, all my videos aside, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to come up with 7 different content buckets the next day, and
How?
that is the.
How do you do this?
It just comes. It just happens. I'm not even kidding. It just happens. I'm like, I just need to sit. I just need to sit with my laptop or my phone. It comes. It's legit my superpower. My superpower is coming ideating formats which I think are unique. Again, I think are unique because right now in this current day and age, none of the content pieces are original. That's what
Yeah, they're all
that's what I think.
inspired.
It's all
Definitely.
inspired consciously or subconsciously. Like, for example, if I'm doing dosa reacts right now, there's someone who's going to come and say, you know what, dosa reacts is as similar to Uncle Roger. Uncle Roger is another
Yeah, yeah,
lovely
yeah.
creator. So for me, consciously or subconsciously, I might have been inspired, but it all, again, at the end of it, it depends how you're formatting it, how what kind of a unique flavor you're bringing into that in that property or that video or that idea. So I think it's totally fine to kind of give away your ideas to other people and see what happens. 'Cause I'm able to do it because I have that. It's not creator arrogance as such, but I can pull it off. There's always a solution. Ho jayega. And after 2 months of suspension,
Yeah.
I've lost the fear. I've legit lost the fear. Ki, I've faced the worst. What's the worst thing that could happen to me? Let's go for it.
Yeah, I feel like you've become very fearless after that period of time, right? Because even in your new content, there's like a resurgence in the kind of content that you do. There's a lot more confidence, I guess, and you're pushing your boundaries a lot more.
Totally. I wouldn't have been able to do that if my account wasn't suspended for 2 months. I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't wish for that to happen to my enemies also. But it's fine. It's a learning process. I needed that push.
Yeah.
I badly needed that push. And yeah, let's see. I'm kind of curious to see where this goes, because I'm learning, I'm experimenting on a daily basis. I am interacting with so many creators on a daily basis, which is
Yeah.
fun. I've not done so many collabs with my previous account. For like, I'm not done. Like, there was only 3 4 people I did with, and I was like, ha, happy, done. Now I'm like, the best part right now is people are approaching.
Mm.
They look at me making a collab video with someone. They come and say, "Oh, let's do a collab video." I'm like, "Okay, cool." There's Zoha, and
Yes.
she's sweet, okay. And I posted a collab video with Sonu, and she messaged saying, "We should also collab." And I'm like, let's do. And we kind of came with an idea, we just shot, and it's fun.
Oh,
Those
nice.
again, those we didn't expect the okay, that video we made hit a million.
Mm.
We didn't expect, again, Instagram being Instagram. First 1 week it was at 100, 200. Like, okay, fine, let it grow. After a week, I get a message saying, "Did you look at the numbers on our video?" I'm like, "What happened?" "It's close to hitting a million." I'm like, "Oh, great,
And it's
cool."
so good you can share that joy with someone else, right? Because you worked on it
Yeah,
together.
yeah. But I made sure like every collab right now. If with what I'm doing, I make sure to tell them that numbers are. I'm not worried about the numbers. The intent was to have a connection with the creator, and it is to create a good piece of content.
Yeah.
And that is all it is. I make sure I actively make sure I put that message across with every creator.
In those 2 months where you didn't have your Instagram profile, what were you doing with your time?
I had my freelance work here and there, but I was doing nothing. I made sure, because I had another account, but I made sure I don't browse on Instagram.
Why?
No, FOMO. What? For full FOMO. Because I was in like one of the closest friends I have from the creator space right now is Macvin. Macvin and I are very close. We're very close. We talk on a daily basis. We've kind of gotten on that.
Oh.
That's space. So we were on a constant touch. I knew the kind of I knew what content pieces he was doing and stuff. That was it. But apart from that, I didn't really want to go and live on Instagram. I do
Yeah.
that right now. I get free time. I reply to DMs or just live. I think that's also. I don't know how much of what's your how much time do you
Oh
spend on
God,
Instagram?
too much. Like I've had to actively cut down my Instagram time because I think for us, like for a lot of people, Instagram is free time, social time, leisure time. But for
Right.
us, it is leisure and work. So the thing is, you can't justify it to yourself, like, or you justify it to yourself saying, "Yeah, I'm on my phone because I have to reply to DMs, etc." But honestly, you are just scrolling, wasting so much time. So for me, I've had to actively be like, okay, after this time, I should not. Or even when I'm with other people, like this is a big problem for me, like not opening up Instagram and be like, no, I have work, because then you're not giving that other person attention or the time that they need. So it's tricky.
Matlab, acceptable when you are meeting people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
But if you're at
but
home, you're with family, what do you do then?
I stick on my Instagram only. I want to get yeah. I feel you get into the groove. You groove with the algorithm.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
you once you start consuming a lot of reels, no. I don't know if it's me, but I kind of get to know
Trending.
what
What
people are
works?
what's trending, what people are consuming
Yeah.
as such.
A lot of people, when they view content creation, they're like, hi, it's easy, it's so superficial, you just take a phone, film it, that's it. But when you are part of it, like it's your job, it's your profession, and you
True,
treat it like that, there is so much you love to talk about and discuss.
totally.
And the intricacies are crazy because the possibilities are endless when it comes to content, right?
Absolutely. And dude, my family had no idea about content creation or anything.
Uh-huh.
They were like, why is this guy roaming around with the camera the whole day and shooting stuff? He's not getting likes also, but he's still doing it. Why is he doing it? Right, but it took them. So when I hit my first 100K,
Uh-huh.
I saw my dad being proud. I'm like, oh, this is a thing. Oh, I didn't really know.
Uh-huh.
I had my friends come over. They cut a cake and all.
Aw.
That was 2 weeks before the account went off, but but that's when they saw, they're like, not bad. He has potential. Finally, he's consistent at something in his life.
Was your mom like, 1 lakh people watch you? They encourage you with
Like,
this?
so there were a few events I was called for,
Uh-huh.
and mom was like, "Why are they calling you? Are you? What? Why? I have a talent agency signing you up." They're like, "They're signing you up. Why are they signing you? What did you do? What did you achieve in your life?
Wasn't she like, why not me? I'm a huge part of your content.
Dude, she started getting recognized.
Yeah.
So yeah, she ran. She went. She was in my brother's place, my brother's city, and randomly some random girl comes in like, "Oh, are you the Kurta guy's mom?" And she's like, "Yes." And she had a fan moment. Then the lady was like, "Oh, we are a big fan of you."
Uh-huh.
And random. So I got a few people randomly clicking my mom's photo from the passport office and sending it to me.
Oh gosh.
Like, "Oh, look who I spotted." Like, please delete it.
How
I
does
don't
she
wanna see.
feel about it? Like getting recognized and stuff like that.
She's never used to. She's never used to all these things because she wanted. Because she never got into acting and all those things. She never knew what it was. I think one of my first two or three my second reel had my mom, and she was just like going with the flow. She's like, "Huh, okay, you asked me to do, I'll shoot." And those were times where I used to spend 10 minutes on one line of dialogue, 10
Oh,
15
doing
minutes on one line.
retakes.
Yeah, retakes. Because she was not used to it. I was not used to directing my mom. And I was like, "Oh, mom, dude, just one line." And she's like, "Put this on the camera. Your followers should know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're shouting at me." And I'm like, "Okay, it's fine. Thank
Uh-huh.
you. I'll buy you something online. Just act for me." And yeah, she got used to it. And it later went to a point where she's like, "Oh, are we shooting a video this week? Tell me in advance so that I'll finish the work at home."
So sweet. So now she enjoys the process of being part of the video. Does she read
She does.
comments
She
and
does.
stuff, your mom?
She reads comments. She reads. She's a passive. She doesn't understand because it took her a lot of time to understand what is stories and what is post. And like, why are you posting there? It's not coming on. It's not coming on my feed. So it's fun. It's fun just explaining tech to your folks.
Yeah.
So it's nice. And she doesn't follow people. I had to teach her that, you know what, if you want to watch the content, you can follow them. She used to go search for that person and then check their content types.
Wow. So sweet.
But yeah, it's good. It's good that she's also a little away from it.
Why? You don't want her getting too popular and stealing your
Not
spotlight?
popular. I'm sure she'll get. I won't say addiction, but there were times where she used to read her comments and like, "Oh, there are not a lot of positive comments. So why are they saying this?" Oh, and they were like, "Oh, this video is not performing well. No, well, I think you should." Like, mother, please come in my acting. I know. I don't know. Listen to a lot of feedback because
Yeah.
I know they've gone. That's their investment. They've invested that time to understand. Okay, oh, this content is doing well. That content is not doing well. So it's an active thing to kind of keep them away from.
You want to sort of protect them, right? Because you've gone through it.
Protect them.
You've gotten
Yeah,
through
yeah.
it. And now you're like, no, be safe, my little one.
It is that you don't want them to kind of go through or experience or see a lot of content.
You had mentioned that you've done your undergrad in media, right? And in filming and all of that. How open were your parents to you studying that? Because that would have been a very unique path to go, right? When everyone else is doing engineering and medicine.
I think that was a peak time. That was I chose that path at a time where every single person I knew like you said, was doing engineering or going to the US and doing stuff. But at the same time, my parents were also that, but they were like from a young age, they were always actively asking my brother and I to choose paths which are unique and different. My brother played cricket all his life.
Like professionally.
Yeah, professionally,
Wow, okay.
proper Ranji and all, and yeah, full. And now he kind of gotten into strength and he's a strength and conditioning coach. He was okay. He was a strength and conditioning coach for the RCB team. Now he's with the Indian like the actual Indian cricket. He goes around with them. So that's not a career path which a lot of people would assume their kids would go ahead with. Because I've seen my brother take up a very different career path. Now he goes around with the Indian cricket team and those cricketers, and those are his friends and people. So my folks have always liked that. It's something different. It's something different than the usual, and they let us explore. Dude, they've let me explore my career. I've had my career across. I knew it was around media, but I've done it TV, films, agencies, multiple agencies. Suddenly one day I'll come like, I'm quitting this job. And they're like, oh God, find something consistent. And with content creation, they never really thought that it could be a full time stuff. And until the last couple of months back, I was like, you know what? This pays money also. I can do branded content also. And mom was like, oh, it pays. I'm acting in your video.
And
I
she's
think
great in your videos. Like
yeah,
that
yeah,
deadpan humor, the timing, comedic timing is like fantastic.
yeah, yeah. I want to say that it's a privilege. It's a privilege to have folks at home let you do content creation full time.
It is. Okay, fan question time. The first question is from Shriya. What is your favorite dosa of all time?
Plain dosa, plain regular plain dosa. Mwah.
Do you like
Like
the thick dosa or that thin, crispy one?
if mom is making thin, if I'm making thick, because it's not an option. I try putting. I can make good dosas, but I like regular plain dosas. Wow. Like because the first time I had dosa was when I moved into one of the cities, and a neighbor fed us dosas.
Uh-huh.
That was the first time I had proper dosa with coconut chutney. I was
Before
what
that?
3 years.
Oh,
I was
okay.
3 years old.
Uh-huh.
How you I'll be 10 years old. I had dosa for the first time. Ah,
I was like, what?
3 year old.
Okay. So it was a
3 year old
neighbor
people
who
had it.
introduced you to a dosa.
With coconut chutney. Wow.
Whew. That white
Dosa
coconut
gasm.
chutney?
Yeah, dude, white coconut chutney. Lovely. I want to have dosas now.
Okay, second question. This question is from Suprita. How do you manage work life balance?
What is work?
What is life?
What is life? I don't have a life. I really don't have a life because right now I'm at a stage where I'm dropping clients to to focus more on content creation. So when people ask me what do I do for a living, I do this for a living. Even if I'm not making a lot of money right now, 2-3 months down the lane, I might probably end up monetizing all these things, and I'll end up making money because from Parks and Rec, there's one lovely dialogue which Ron Swanson gives out,
Uh-huh.
and I've tried to focus on that in the last couple of years, which is he says, don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing. Like, it made so much sense where there are people who do this and that and kind of go nowhere. I was doing it for the longest time. Like recently, I'm like, content karna hai. I know I just have to focus only on making content every day. That's it, and it'll eventually turn out well. I think that is the reason I'm able to put out more content pieces with that frequency.
The next question. This is from someone called Accidental Genius. The question is, how long are you going to stay single?
Yeah, as long it's there are things which are not in my control, huh? Like who wants to stay single forever? Huh? I'm just saying it out there. If someone comes, if I find someone, I'll okay, fine, I'll move around. But I'm not. I won't say I'm actively seeking about desperate. But if it happens, it happens.
Uh-huh.
This is a real answer.
You know, there are so many people who are like, is he single? Please tell him I have a crush on him. So there are people who are around just waiting for you to say yes.
Oddly enough, I don't want to treat I don't want to treat the platform for that. I have my priorities set for the platform,
Uh-huh.
and
Dating is
I
not
kind
one
of
of
want to
them.
maintain it. Dating someone on the from the gram is not one of them. Like this is like I said, this is work for me.
Uh-huh.
I need to respect my workspace.
Uh-huh.
Again, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong at all. But I should probably know the person offline before taking the conversation online. That is my thing.
So what are the things you look for in a partner?
This you're asking. They didn't ask.
I'm asking.
I don't know. Yeah, matlab, I've never really given that a thought.
Okay. Like,
Matlab, not like any moving body is something I hit on, but
no, like when you think of, okay, if there was a fictional character that you could base your perfect partner on, who would
oh,
it be?
nice. I like Karen from The Office.
Karen from The Office. Interesting.
Karen from The Office. Like, what's her name? Uh, what's her name? No, I
Rashida
want her name.
Jones.
Rush. She's lovely. I like her.
Like, do you like her looks? Do you like her personality? Like, what is it?
Personality. It's a fun personality, and something which is not too over the top, but something again it's still grounded, but still there's a lot of love in it.
Ah. How do you like her in Parks and Rec? Anne.
She was and used to turn like and used to turn into the people she was dating. So I won't be surprised if she starts wearing kurtas after she starts dating me.
That's very difficult, okay? Because your kurtas are really nice. Like anybody would want to start wearing them.
Yeah, well, I'll probably start gifting them kurtas.
Oh, so if you like someone, that means you would give them a kurta? Is that a
Yeah,
sign?
totally. Yeah, totally,
Ah,
for sure.
nice. Okay, last fan question. Why do you wear shoes for skipping, though you love chappals?
Hey, this is something they saw on the story yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and they asked that question. That I think the same lady asked me also the same question. Why are you wearing shoes? I don't want to say. Okay, the thing is, I wear chappals quite a bit. I've never really been a shoe guy. In all fairness, because I, I don't step out. Two, I don't know. Matlab, for workout, I can't work out with my shoes or with my chappals. Otherwise, I'll have blisters, and it's not comfortable. But yeah, I'm going to start experimenting on with Crocs.
I am a huge Crocs fan. I would say
What?
100% go for it.
Because I
100%.
wanted something alongside chappals to look good with the kurtas. Because in a way that also covers the foot, but also looks nice. I
Funky.
got one. It's also funky.
Uh-huh.
I recently got a blue like full like with all those attachments and all. I
Gibbets.
got one. Gibbets. I got those gibbets and those Crocs. I think it's fun. I'm gonna experiment with it. I'm gonna see if it goes well with the kurtas. And I think, yeah, chappals for life. I have chappal paintings also, hanging
Wow.
around the house.
Are these paintings you made?
Haha, I made.
So you do art as well, like you
Yeah, yeah.
paint, you
Matlab,
sing.
digital artwork. I have digital artwork. I have paintings also. But in my house, all the wall posters are all digital art, which I made.
Wow. You should start one merch, you should start digital art also. You have like the perfect things to start off your online store,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
people would definitely buy.
I'm set. I'm planning to put up a stall then for the next Comic Con with my own with my own stall, but with stupid stuff, not with real stuff. I'm gonna find that's the whole point. I'm gonna do portraits in under 10 seconds,
Wow, okay.
like random portraits, not good looking ones.
Uh-huh.
Randomly scribble and I want to sell that.
How much
I
you'll
want to sell
charge
that. I
for
want
it?
to 20 rupees.
Okay. What's up with 20 rupees? Like, this is a magic
But
number.
it's part of a branding again.
Now, don't you wish you started with some 200 rupees or something?
No, yeah, no, not like that. But no, it's fun. So if it's 200, like, 20 rupees, why so cheap? Because there was a time where I used to, before content came in place, I used to charge people for doing odd tasks, like open the door as a conversation. Like, I'll open the door if you give me 20 rupees.
This is very younger sibling behavior. You're the younger sibling?
I am the youngest.
I see.
I'm
that.
like, you want water? I'll give you water for 20 rupees. I used to do this in the office, like where I was working at. I used to do that. Arey, do this recording. I'm like, I'll do it. Give me 20 rupees, I'll do it for you. So that kind of people made fun. Initially, people made fun of me. Hey, what is this 20 rupees? What are you talking about? And then I kind of like, okay, I'm going to use it in the content. Just put it in it. I have a 20 rupees lying around here. Wait.
Okay, nice.
It's there. 20 rupees. Guys, for those who are hearing this, I am holding a 20 rupee note.
ASMR.
ASMR. So I kept this knowing this conversation would come up.
Oh, really? Oh, prep from your end also. Also, I have to say that you are the first guest on Chumma Conversation who has asked me this question, which is, what should I wear? Or is this outfit okay? Nobody has ever asked me that on the podcast before.
Oh.
Look at the level of preparation.
I mean, I sat till. So the thing was, I sat till 1:30 a.m. last night, figuring out the setup. This is a setup I've done before. I didn't. But I wanted to set the camera up, see how this looks like visually, and I'm glad it looks nice. Yeah, I'm gonna use this setup for my live streaming.
Nice.
Hopefully in the future, I'm doing this. I'll put on some random LED sign. I'll put in the background, and I'm done.
The kurta guy. TKG.
TKG, TK. I sound like AKG, but TK. So I'll figure out. I'll put some chappals in the background or some random stuff. I'll start putting.
Nice.
But yeah,
Awesome. It was so nice
Great.
having this conversation with you. I know you have a meeting now.
I told them 1:15. So
Oh,
it's,
okay.
matlab, I knew. Knowing this personality, I knew it would kind of go there.
You mean
And
your
I had fun,
personality?
dude. Nah.
Oh, man.
But this was fun. This felt more like a video call.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
felt, at least for me, this felt more like a video call, and yeah, it's nice talking content to understanding your perspective, because they were a few questions I've had in my mind
Mm-hmm.
all these while watching your content, and it is nice to kind of put in my perspective, gauge
Yeah.
it against yours. What do you think? Is this your way of approach? This is great in terms of uh, defining my opinions or my
Mm-hmm.
perspectives or how I approach content. This exchange is lovely.
Everyone who's listening and watching, please make sure you follow Vividh, the Kurta guy, right now known as the Kurta guy on Instagram. I'll put his socials in the description. And you heard through this conversation all the exciting stuff that he's planning. So make sure you follow him so that you can be the first to see. All right. Thank you so much for coming on Chumma Conversations, Vividh. And all of you listening, thanks for listening in. Have a great week ahead.
Bye guys. Bye guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to more conversations.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening in. If you liked this episode, then please leave a rating on whatever platform you listen to this on so that it will help me get discovered by more listeners. New episodes of Chumma Conversations with your favorite content creators will be out every Wednesday, so make sure you click on that follow or subscribe button to make sure you never miss an episode when it comes out. Have a great week ahead. Bye.